Meet your finalists for the 2021 American and National League MVP Award. Bryce Harper had a monster year for the Phillies, hitting .309 with 35 homers and 84 RBI, and led the league with 42 doubles, .615 slugging, 1,044 OPS, and 179 OPS+. Juan Soto of the Nationals hit .313, 29 homers, 95 RBI, a .999 OPS, and led the league in on-base percentage with .465, as well as walks with .145, including 23 intentional walks. That's what happens when you trade away all your good protection at the deadline. Fernando Tatis Jr. looked like a shoo-in for the MVP, but he missed 32 games scattered throughout the year for the Padres, and that really narrowed the gap. Still, despite missing a month of the season, he led the league with 42 homers, posting 97 RBI, hitting .282, and posting a .975 OPS. He also stole 25 bases. Over in the AL, for the Toronto Blue Jays, here's Vladimir Guerrero Jr. He only missed one game, tying the league lead for homers with 48, also putting up an impressive 111 RBI with a .311 average, and he led the league in on-base percentage at .401, slugging at .601, and OPS at 1,002. His teammate, Marcus Semien, had a record-breaking first year in Toronto. No second baseman in history had ever hit 45 home runs until Semien did it in 2021. He also played in every single game and posted a very good OPS of .873, playing Gold Glove defense at second. Finally, we have Shohei Ohtani of the Angels, having a season that we haven't seen since, well, not even Babe Ruth. 46 homers, 100 RBI, .965 OPS, and he showed off his speed, leading the league with 8 triples. If that's not enough, he also started 23 games as a pitcher, tossing 130 innings with a .318 ERA and a .141 ERA+. Harper, Soto, Tatis, Guerrero, Semien, Ohtani. What do they all have in common? Not a single one got their team to the playoffs. It's almost impossible to believe. When we've had as many playoff teams as ever, of course barring the weird 2020 format, not one player from those 10 teams could have had a top 3 MVP finish. The voters will still reward players who got their teams close, and the only two that were totally out of the playoff hunt by September were Ohtani and Soto. Still, this is weird to see. So I went back and looked at the top 3 MVP vote getters in each league, going back to 1969 when divisional play started, just to see if there was anything quite like this. The answer is, kinda, but not quite like this. Let's start with the fact that neither winner of the MVP award will be from a playoff team. When's the last time that happened? Certainly not in the wildcard era, starting in 1995. This is when the playoff field expanded from 2 to 4 per league. You have to go back to 1987. George Bell won the AL MVP for the Blue Jays, and Andre Dawson won the NL MVP for the Cubs. That's happened 2 other times since 1969, actually in back-to-back years. In 1977, Rod Carew won it for the Twins, and George Foster won it for the Reds. Then in 1978, Jim Rice won it in Boston, and Dave Parker won it in Pittsburgh. We've never seen the top 3 finalists miss the playoffs in both leagues until now, but this has happened in one league or the other. We only have to go back to 2015 to find this, when Bryce Harper ran away with the MVP for the Nationals, with Paul Goldschmidt and Joey Votto taking 2nd and 3rd, with the Diamondbacks and Reds failing to get to October. We also saw this in the American League in 1991, with Cal Ripken Jr. for Baltimore, Cecil Fielder for Detroit, and Frank Thomas for Chicago. It also happened 2 years prior, in 1989. Robin Yount won it for Milwaukee, and then you had Ruben Sierra for Texas, and Cal Ripken Jr. once again for Baltimore. How about the flip side? How many times have both leagues had all 3 finalists make the playoffs? We've only seen this 5 times since 1969, the most recent one coming in 2020, which was a bizarre year. 8 teams made the playoffs in both leagues, but you have to go back 20 years to find the next one, with the AL having Jason Giambi for Oakland, Frank Thomas for Chicago, and Alex Rodriguez for Seattle. In the NL, you had Jeff Kent and Barry Bonds for the Giants, and Mike Piazza for the Mets. That's a lot of information, most of it not all that useful, but I hope you found it interesting. Let's look at some of the best performers from the 10 playoff teams, and how their numbers stack up to the finalists. Let's look at some important baseline numbers: OPS, OPS+, and WAR. In the National League, Fernando Tatis posts the lowest OPS and OPS+, with .975 and .166, and the lowest WAR belongs to Harper with 5.9. Now, who played in October that can stack up to that? The name that gets tossed around the most is Austin Riley of the Braves. 33 homers, 107 RBI, 898 OPS, 132 OPS+, and he had a 6.1 WAR. That's a strong case for consideration, even if it's not quite up to the finalist standards. Freddie Freeman won the award last year, but a slow start hurt his overall numbers. He still ended up with 31 homers and 83 RBI, an 896 OPS and 133 OPS+, posting a 4.7 WAR. Not quite good enough. Max Muncy was the Dodgers' best hitter all year, posting 36 homers, 94 RBI, an 895 OPS and a 138 OPS+, along with a 4.9 WAR. Trey Turner was even better, splitting time between the Nats and the Dodgers. An absolute hit machine. posting an overall 911 OPS, winning the batting title with a 328 average, 28 homers, 77 RBI, 32 steals, and a 6.5 WAR. Muncy falls a little short, but Turner has a decent case. For the 107-win Giants, Brandon Crawford has the best case. 24 home runs, 90 RBI, 298 average, 895 OPS, 141 OPS plus, 6.1 WAR, and won a Gold Glove at shortstop. The Cardinals got a great season from Tyler O'Neill. 34 homers, 80 RBI, 912 OPS, and a 150 OPS plus, posting a great 6.3 WAR along with a Gold Glove. Paul Goldschmidt was right behind him with a 6.1 WAR, along with those 31 homers, 99 RBI, 879 OPS, and 143 OPS plus. As for the Brewers, they were all about pitching, but Willy Adames came over midseason from Tampa and tore it up. In 99 games with Milwaukee, he launched 20 homers, knocked in 58, posted an 886 OPS, 135 OPS plus, and collected a 3.5 WAR. After looking at all of this, I don't think anyone can claim that they were snubbed. Among the 3 finalists, I think Tatis is the weakest one. He missed 32 games and had a lower OPS and OPS plus, but nobody in the playoffs could match his 6.6 WAR. Trey Turner came the closest, and I would put him in the group of 3 playoff finalists, along with Austin Riley and Tyler O'Neill. If I was a voter, I would give the MVP to Bryce Harper. His numbers are very similar to Juan Soto, slightly worse in some ways, but slightly better in others. Soto does have a 1.2 WAR advantage, but with the stats being that close, I'll give the edge to Harper for having his Phillies in the playoff race all the way to the final week. The Nationals had a bad start, and Soto was left all alone as his whole team was traded off. Now for the American League. Again, let's look at OPS, OPS plus, and WAR. Semion's OPS and OPS plus isn't off the charts, standing at 873 and 133, but his defense helped him get a 7.3 WAR. Guerrero's 6.8 WAR is the lowest of the group, and Ohtani combines his pitching and batting WAR, ending up with a 9.1, falling between the 2 Blue Jays in OPS and OPS plus. The Yankees snuck into the playoffs and they were one and done. Aaron Judge was their top dog, posting a 6 WAR along with a 916 OPS and a 149 OPS plus, 39 home runs and 98 RBI. This isn't too far from Semien, but I'd still give Semien the edge. The AL champion Astros got a 7.2 WAR season from Carlos Correa, but the offensive stats don't jump off the page. 26 homers, 92 RBI, 850 OPS, 131 OPS plus, but he nearly achieved that 3-win defensive WAR mark, and that won him a Gold Glove. Kyle Tucker also had a great year, a 917 OPS and a 147 OPS plus, going along with 30 homers and 92 RBI, posting a very solid 5.7 WAR. Nobody really jumped out from the Red Sox, but Rafael Devers was worth a look. He had 38 homers and 113 RBI. He posted an 890 OPS and a 132 OPS plus, but only had a 3.5 WAR. For Brandon Lau of the Rays, it was a similar story. 39 homers, 99 RBI, 863 OPS, and a 142 OPS plus, finishing with a WAR of 4.7. Last up was the White Sox, sporting last year's MVP in Jose Abreu. His 30 homers and 117 RBI made for a solid season, but he only posted an OPS of 831 and a 125 OPS plus, accounting for just a 3 WAR season. Yasmani Grandal only played in 93 games, but he still hit 23 homers, 62 RBI, walked more than he struck out, and had an OPS of 939 and a 157 OPS plus, posting a 3.7 WAR. If I had to pick 3 guys from this group, I'd go with Judge, Correa, and Lau, but I think the finalists were spot on. The Blue Jays took their playoff hopes all the way to game 162, and Ohtani is just on another planet. He was an all-star at the plate and on the mound, a season that we have never seen before and may never see again, and I think you have to give the award to Ohtani. He is the definition of a most valuable player. After looking at the finalists and the stats for those who made the playoffs but weren't chosen, I can't argue with their choices. It's just one of those fluky seasons, and the players with the best seasons couldn't push their teams over the edge. The MVPs will be announced on Thursday, November 18th, and I think that Harper and Ohtani will take home the hardware. Let me know what you think about this MVP race. If anyone from the playoff team should have taken the spot of one of the finalists, and who you think is going to win. Before you go, be sure to drop a like, it really helps me out, and give me a sub for more content just like this. Right now, I'm posting new videos every Monday. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time.